Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of the Clean Talk. This is also our first episode of 2025, and we are all geared up with technologies that will take the world by a storm. This episode is all about these technologies. Joining me in this episode is Mr. Mohammed Santina, Operations Director at OCS. Welcome to the Clean Talk, Mr. Mohammed.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming us.
Mohammed, the role of AI and IoT has often been deliberated upon in the previous year. Can you tell us how both of these technologies are transforming cleaning operations and soft FM in particular?
Okay, now for the IoT in cleaning operations, currently we have smart dispensers for the soap, the paper, the sanitizers, and all of this installed all over the restrooms and in particular areas in the buildings. Now this enable us just-in-time replenishment to provides a couple of things. It is prevent us in overstocking the items, and in case let's say a dispenser is low and it is not stocked on time, we get an alarm and we go and stock it on time. This is one part. Another part is now there are some smart beacons, Bluetooth operated, where we can install them in certain location. This allows us to monitor the location of the staff. Now this is utilized on so many levels. One level is that you can monitor the staff where they are in a particular site. In case of an emergency, you can call the nearest person to come to site. The supervisor can see it on his tablet and the locations. Another part is to monitor the productivity of the staff to see how much time they are spending in one location, to see how many locations they are finishing as per their tasks. In addition to, now it is smart enough, we upload the specific task sheet for every location linked to the beacon. For example, when he enters this location, he has to check 1, 2, 3, 4. So he checks all of these items and it opens automatically on the housekeeping operative mobile app, and he does it, and he takes the photos, evidence, and these kind of things. So this enables us to have proper compliance, and in addition to this, there is an evidence of the tasks completed by taking photos, videos based on the tasks based on the requirement of the site. In addition to this, the AI now is entering the situation. Now, the AI also is implemented on several levels. The first level, which is has been for a let's say for a more period than the new generative AI, but for which is in data analytics, where it analyzes data from multiple sources and give us insights. For example, consistent high, because now it's taking data from multiple sources, from the cleaners and the consumption of because you can connect it to the dispensers, you can connect it to the beacons, you can connect it to the mobile app of the cleaner. So it takes from multiple sources and gives you insights. You have big consumption in this area, or the travel time for this area is coming too much, so this is why. So you can this is why it's not being administered quickly. So this is one type of data analytics, and manage trends across time. You can link it with other events that's happening on site. Let's say for some reason a certain washroom is getting depleted quickly at a certain time. You understand, okay, there's a restaurant next to this area that's having a brunch event on this date. So you start to analyze the peaks against other events related to this area. So, and then you become proactive in having all of the requirement ready.
Basically, better decision making. Yeah.
Better decision making, better having stock, better having, this is in the end, our concerns is the end user experience at the site, not to enter any location. So sometimes when we discover this trend, for this particular period, instead of having the washroom administered at a certain interval, we'll keep a certain dedicated staff in this area.
Yeah.
Instead of, let's say, we keep him all day. No, we understand that the peak on this time, on this particular period, we'll keep him for this period only. So this is cost effective for the landlords, and at the same time,
it's also utilizing your resources properly.
Yes. Now, also, another level now with the advances of the generative AI and the new AI trend, which is, as we said, they are taking photo evidence and videos of the things done or the tasks done. Now AI is now smart enough to analyze the photo and understand the quality. This is done on a good quality. This is not done on a good quality. This is not done on purpose. So what we do is you can now train the AI, take several photos of how it should look like when it is clean, and you take several photos how it looks like when it's not done properly. And now the AI can automatically recognize, same as a human, this is not done properly. This should be there. It should have, sometimes even not necessary for washroom, sometimes for conference rooms and for meeting rooms. There are some specific places where you need to put your remote control, your coffee dispensers, your all of this. So after let's say somebody leaves the meeting room and someone else to enter the meeting room, everything should be in place, or something is missing, or it will tell you. For example, one you can think about it as a minor thing, but it's a major importance. For example, the remote control for the monitor or for the display is missing. It can give you an alarm. We cannot find it. It is missing. So make sure to find it or fix it before the next meeting room. So these kind of AI advancement is actually are important and can be utilized in a practical manner.
Definitely. Now AI is advancing big time, and so are robotics. My next question would be about robotics. I mean, a few years before 2025, whenever we used to talk about robotics, we would talk about them as cobotics, as in humans and robots coexisting, working together. Today, technology is such that we are talking about autonomous cleaning robots. What is your opinion about them?
Actually, autonomous cleaning robots are important because the efficiency is much higher. And however, robotics are not only in large and small scale, even minor scale. There is also robots for home use, not for industrial use, and up to now available in very large scale, where the heavy equipment are already becoming robotics, to medium to small, to medium and small size. Now, one interesting thing I noticed in the robotic fields, when the robotic cleaning equipment entered the field, there is a different mindset. The engineers who are working on designing the robots are from a more modern perspective, modern thinking, and the engineers who are designing the conventional machine are from a conventional mindset. Meaning, the new robotic machine, they have lithium batteries. For example, lithium batteries, you tell me what is the importance of lithium batteries. Lithium batteries, you charge it for 2 hours, it operates for 4 or 6 hours.
Okay.
Conventional batteries in cleaning equipment, you charge it for 4 hours, it works for 2 hours.
Yes.
Now, this is something is adopted from the engineers who are doing the robotics, not the engineers, because they come from different background, and so it's not actually the robotics technologies that is introduced. The what you call it, the consequential or the side technologies that are used in the robotics. For example, magnetic attachment. The technology, everything in mobiles and the technology engineers. they like to use magnetic attachments, for example, for the brushes and this and that and the small attachment. Where in the conventional they like to attach it in a firm manner, while the new technologies in the magnets are now very strong. They can attach it, I think, firmly. So they adopted it first for the robotic machinery. Now I am seeing this adoption coming from the robotic machinery to the conventional machines. Now, the impact on labor efficiency and return and the return on investment is the most important thing for the machine, because for the is it achieving the regular efficiency of the regular cleaner? I would say 90%. Maybe some small areas and some small it needs to be attended for by, but still most of the companies are look and the end users are looking at return on investment. In Europe and in Western countries where the labor cost is high, the return on investment is coming quick. It's coming like 6 months, 1 year. In our area, at least in the Middle East, we have done several studies, and we found the return on investment is coming between 2 to 3 years while investing in the robotics. I would say it's still a little bit early, because every year we find something new in the robotics. Let's say a couple of years ago, you need to do mapping of the area and to do with a special machine and then let the robot. Now, the robots are intelligent enough that they can do the mapping themselves and then start to do the service. Another interesting idea is what I find it really interesting is there are some machines that are combination of robot and manual.
Yeah.
If you want to operate it manually, you can operate it manually, and you can leave it to operate independently. The smart thing is also, which is kind of AI embedded in the machine itself, the cleaner or the operative will operate it manually. Okay. However, while operating manually, the same machine is learning how it is being operated manually in this space, and will replicate the same activities that is done manually by the manual operative, and the next time it will do it automatically. In the end, I would like to say that the higher adoption, you'll find it in Europe and Western region. The lower adoption in the Middle East, just because the return on investment is coming a little bit high. However, going forward, I will say it is not... I would say it's around 50-60% mature. But still, it can mature more because with the adoption of new and artificial intelligence and the safety features of the machines, you can also are advancing very much, because sometimes you are operating in an isolated area, sometimes you are operating in an area where it has some visitors or residents or who are walking around. And some companies, they adopted this technology is that instead of making an alarm, they make them interactive. They will talk to the, can say, can you please move? So it will talk to the, it understand that there's a small child or they're a human, and it will talk to it and talk to him and tell them, listen, can you please move? I saw some machines, they will ask 1 time, they will ask 2 times, at the 3rd time they will start crying. They tell him,
I've seen them in malls too.
Yes, please move, I need to do my job, and this kind of thing, which is interesting, and the interactive aspect is interesting and fun, and at the same time productive for the companies and for the end users.
Definitely. Now let's also talk about eco-friendly innovations. I have hosted a few episodes of this podcast, and all the expert speakers who come here talk about going sustainable. So what is your opinion about adopting eco-friendly, technologies in 2025?
Eco-friendly technologies, especially for the chemical usage of in cleaning, has been there for a period now. However, the advancement still, there is much advancement, and we get astonished with the advancement that's
It keeps happening. The advancement
Yes,
keeps happening
because-
year after year.
Because now for us, the conventional thing is that we get concentrated chemicals. The transportation is less instead of transport. So you are saving on the CO2 emissions during transportation. The storage is less. And the usage is being done by automatic dilution system and dispensers for that. So you make sure that there is no over usage of the chemicals, which is harming for the environment, and at the same time unnecessary usage of chemicals. And because even when you put more chemicals, you need to put more water to remove the chemicals.
Yeah.
Which we found, okay, we thought that this was, okay, the best thing that can be done. However, just recently we are working with a couple of companies that have a much very simpler system, which is pre-dosed sachets of powder chemicals.
Okay.
So what is the effect now? We have instead of having concentrated liquid, now we have concentrated powder, which is much less heavier than the liquid. Another idea is now you don't have the plastic container. The wrapper itself of the pouch is biodegradable with the water. So you just drop it already pre-dosed sachet for, let's say, for 1 liter, for 5 liter, for a bucket, for whatever. So it is already comes pre-dosed. You just drop it in the water, and it becomes. And they have the range of chemicals they have. It's from heavy-duty chemicals to hand soap, which is done this way. So this is sustainability from the source, because from the factory, they are packaged in cartons, which are 100% recyclable, and they are stored with paper bags, and the sachets themselves, they are so from the source you are being sustainable, not having plastic, because plastic is not 100% recyclable. In the plastic jugs that they put, and the plastic containers that they put the concentrated chemical in. And the transportation now, instead of transporting heavy chemicals in a liquid form, you are transporting powder, which is much lighter. So if you want to add up all of this together, you will find much sustainable product, even on site. Logistically, it is easy.
More feasible.
It is easier for us, instead of having, because let's say if you have a big site, you cannot have dosing station in one location. You need to have multiple dosing stations. So, while with this, you don't have to invest in a very big storage area. The storage area are small. You can have it, let's say, next to the small room where they keep their tools. You can have them a small shelf, and you can put all these chemicals and utilize it as and when they require. Another system that also being utilized, also I like it very much, which is in water saving equipment and techniques. This is the usual we know about it, which is high pressure washing, and steam cleaning, but now there is some equipment. Also, it's been around for 3-4 years now. It's called the pure water. What it does, it ionizes the water, and for external areas, when the water is ionized, it attracts the dust automatically. So you use less water, and it attracts the dust and takes it. So you are not using chemicals, you are using only water. And the quantity of water is very efficient, because it's not relying on high pressure or high temperature or these kind of things. It is ionizing the water in a way. It is with a small energy. It ionizes the water, and the water attracts the dust instead of just pushing or dissolving the dust from the signage and outdoors area.
That's interesting. There are also many waterless technologies now I'm reading about. So moving on, let's move on to our next topic, which is UVC and antimicrobial solutions. And what I want to ask you is, how efficient are they in healthcare settings, particularly?
UV is a must in healthcare settings, especially in operating rooms, where it sanitizes the area, or it neutralizes the bacteria and the viruses. We have traditional UV towers where we put them in the room for 10-15 minutes to especially in operating rooms, to neutralize the area. However, as you know, UV is a light, so you put it in the room, and you will get shadows somewhere, and you will get kind of thing. So you need to just time to time, move it around the room. Actually, currently, in one of our hospitals, we are doing some kind of proof of concept. Not proof of concept. The system is used in Europe, but because the problem in healthcare setting. You need to have a proof of your whatever new methods you are utilizing, to make sure that because the risks are high, especially for infection and isolation room. So what you do is, the UV tower is taken to the next level by utilizing a robotic UV tower, which is a UV tower. However, instead of just putting it inside the room, it will automatically move around the room. Instead of being in the middle of the room and utilizing more time to sanitize, it moves automatically close to the surfaces of the walls and the tables and the beds, and move all around the room, and sanitizes the room in a much quicker manner. And then you add to it AI. It is intelligent enough that when it walks around the room, it understands the room, and it understands the shadows and where it is covered properly. It will give you automatic report on which areas are covered and which percentages, and which areas that were not able to cover, maybe because the robot was not able to enter, or because there's more shadows entering this area where the UV light did not sanitize it properly. So it highlights these areas for you for minor manual intervention to sanitize this surface, instead of redoing all the surfaces. So you know exactly, it tells you this area was not done. Let's say it's done at 90% or 80% or 70%, and then you just do some manual intervention, and then the room is ready for infection. And the challenges in healthcare especially is that you need to provide positive evidence by doing, we call it ATP test, before and after, which is a test that can measure the bacteria level and the virus level before and after the cleaning action has done.
Wonderful. And that's actually very interesting. When you add AI to all of these technologies, it's very interesting. I mean, how much efficiency we can actually achieve. And now that we've spoken about various technologies, Mohammed, do you face any challenges while implementing them? And how can businesses prepare for the future of cleaning technologies?
Okay, now, the main challenge in any new technology you want to implement in the market is initially you require a capital investment.
Yes.
Which mainly needs to align with contractual renewal cycle of the contracts with our client. Okay, let's say because we invested in some machines and they need to be depreciated on the contract period and this kind of thing. So for us to invest in the middle of the contract is a little bit difficult. So we align them with the new contracts, because always we have the challenges, although inflation rates are getting high and in the market, and everybody is suffering and crying about inflation rates. However, still the expectation of our clients is to provide year-on-year savings, and whenever we are renewing any contract, we need to show some savings.
Definitely.
And the savings, how the savings will happen in this new innovative idea and innovative technology implemented. So we'll tell them, okay, we can, during our analysis of the site, we have identified these areas where we can reduce so many stuff and introduce robots or introduce new type of chemicals or however, when we are renewing the contract, it is the correct time to put the capital investment and depreciate all this capital investment on the contract period, so that we can align with the budget savings of the client. And as one other thing is that many clients demand evidence of the efficiency before approving any new technology. And the evidence is by doing a proof of concept testing on site for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And this also requires sometimes resistance to change in standard operating procedures.
That is a big one.
So I have seen some technologies, which is you cannot call it high technology, but it's a very simple thing, like a special type of mop, okay, where it can be utilized in a different way. And however, the SOP of the cleaner himself, he needs to be the type of brushes and this. So it covers several types of equipment, but then you need to do the training for the housekeeping staff, and to change and then to approve this new SOP with the client. Another thing is, as we discussed earlier, with the health, especially in the healthcare sector, where any new chemical, new technology, new SOP, new method, you need to provide the concrete evidence that it is effective, it is better, or at least same effectiveness as the cleaning method. So, for example, we take one surface, we clean it in the conventional method, we take measurements before and after, and in the new method we take measurements before and after, and then send it for approval. And then it is the end user. And not the end user, the staff themselves, where staff adoption and training. Any new technology, you need to train the staff how to use it correctly, efficiently. Everybody is stuck they are doing the same thing for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. Now you tell them, okay, now you need to do it in a different way. So consistent. There is some not resistant. It is consistent training and observation and monitoring of the staff to make sure that they utilize technology to the utmost efficiency.
Definitely, that's very important. I mean, you can have the best staff in the world, you can have the best technologies in the world, but if you don't train your staff to use those technologies, what good is it? Yes. So we have to be very particular about training. So with that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Mohammed. It was a pleasure to have you. And to our listeners, if you like this episode, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and spread the word. Until next time, thank you.